Hey guys, Skillet here. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you clicking on the video. We're about to take a look at how to defeat one of the early bosses from Remnant from the Ashes with zero rage. So let's go ahead and start talking about how to beat Shroud. Hold up. As usual, we need to talk about a few things that lead up to the fight before we talk about the fight itself. First things first, if you wander into a dungeon and you see this written on the wall, you're in the Hidden Sanctum. That's the dungeon that always empties into Shroud's lair, the Tainted Well. The Hidden Sanctum is like any other sewer tunnel dungeon on Earth, but there is something extra down here.
It's dark, hard to see.
But before we get into that, let's take a quick look at our character. And here he is. It's just a brand new stock ex-cultist character. No weapons leveled up, nothing fancy at all. Just what you see. Okay, so that's the character. Let's get back to the Hidden Sanctum and talk about that little extra something that's down there. Hear that noise in the background? Well, that's coming from this thing. And this thing is a totem that you need to destroy. But before you do, I strongly recommend clearing all of the enemies out of the area. You'll see why in a second. There are actually 3 of these totems placed randomly throughout the Hidden Sanctum. And these are totems to Shroud. Destroying these things is really easy. Just do, 80 or so points of damage to it. And as you can see, destroying the totem summons Shroud. He's a really buff slayer. He likes to shoot arrows at you in pairs, and they can cause bleeding, so don't get hit. Like his weaker cousins, Shroud teleports, so just chase him down and shoot him when you can. After you do about 600 to 650 points of damage, Shroud disappears. Once you've destroyed the first totem, repeat the process with the other 2. Again, you'll reduce Shroud's health by a little more than a quarter, and he'll run away. Now, earlier I said to clear the area of all enemies. Well, the last thing you want to have happen while you're fighting Shroud is getting swarmed by a whole bunch of hollows and rotworms. So that's why it's a good idea to clear the dungeon before you start destroying these totems. It'll make your life a lot easier. That, by the way, was Shroud's power attack. He summons a hail of explosive arrows that just devastates the area that they land in, so don't be there when they hit. Now, here's the funny thing about fighting Shroud like this. So you reduce him by a little over 25% of his health and then he runs away. You do this 3 times. Here's what's funny. That has 0 effect on your boss fight when you finally face Shroud in his lair, the Tainted Well. In fact, you actually don't have to destroy these totems at all. They have 0 effect on the boss fight. So why would you destroy them? Well, watch this. And there you go. You destroy the totems so you can get 400 experience points. And notice, that's not 400 experience points for driving Shroud away 3 times. It's for destroying the totems. So go ahead and take them out, and then fight off Shroud. Once you get to the Tainted Well, he'll fight you for real. So that's what you need to do in the Hidden Sanctum. Let's talk about the map of the Tainted Well. It's a really big, more or less rectangular chamber that has 2 levels. There's a main floor on the bottom, and then there's a series of catwalks that make up the 2nd level. That's what you see in the lighter color above. Here's a section of those catwalks, and as you can see, they offer a really good view of the room. Here's what it looks like on that downstairs level. You can see it's flooded, and it's still relatively open, but there's a lot of good cover around here, and you'll be able to take advantage of that as you face Shroud. Back to the map. Now let's shade the arena in red. This is where you're going to fight. You start here, Shroud starts here, but he doesn't stay there for very long at all. As soon as the fight starts, he teleports away to some random location. And that brings us back to this. You can see Shroud's strat, and you've already dealt with it in the Hidden Sanctum. He's going to fire arrows at you and then teleport. So it's going to be up to you to chase him down and shoot him. Now, here are his adds, devils. They're easy to kill, and they're also very easy to evade. As long as you keep moving, they're going to have a hard time hitting you, and you can pretty much always outrun them. So you really don't have to worry too much about them until you just feel like it. So keep moving, but keep an eye on your stamina. You don't want to run out when you're about to get mobbed by these guys. So, when you feel like it's time, just go ahead and kill as many as you like. They'll drop ammo so you can resupply, and they'll also recharge your weapon mods. Meanwhile, keep an eye out for Shroud. Remember that from the Hidden Sanctum? That was Shroud's power attack, that rain of exploding arrows. And did you hear that shriek that started it? Whenever you hear that, just start running in a straight line away from wherever you are, and you'll evade the attack. The explosions do kill devils, so if you time it right, you can actually use Shroud to kill off his own adds. All you do is you lure the devils into a nice tight group, and then just wait until Shroud calls in the explosives. Run, and let them take the attack. Keep moving, keep looking around, watching for Shroud, and when the opportunity arises, try to get close to him. Dodge roll to avoid the arrows, and then punish him at point blank. I mentioned this back in the Hidden Sanctum, but it's worth saying again. Shroud's arrows cause bleeding, so it's nice to have a bandage or some bloodwort on hand to offset that. When Shroud screams, you actually do have a second or so before the first round lands. Take advantage of the time to shoot him a couple of times, then run. And watch this. You can't always rely on cover. You just saw Shroud shoot straight through that tank like it wasn't there, so be careful. There goes Shroud, and here comes your reward. 550 experience points and Shadewood. Take that back to McCabe at Ward 13, and she'll make you the Rattleweed weapon mod. Let's pause for a second. I just showed you how to beat Shroud using the conventional strat, but I want to show you kind of a bonus tip, an alternate strat. Here we go. Same character, different fight. Rush in on Shroud and just swat at him with your melee weapon. He's not good in melee, he doesn't even have a melee attack. You just have to watch out for the devils. So if you can avoid them, maybe rush in and rush out, you can actually put Shroud away fairly quickly this way. And there you have it. Status of Shroud defeated. And that brings this Zero Rage guide to a close. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you clicking on the video. If you found it enjoyable and helpful, hit that like button and subscribe. Meanwhile, GG's.